You can have huge arms, but if your forearms are tiny, it will ruin your overall physique and take away from just about any progress you have made. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 essential forearm exercises that when performed consistently will transform your forearms and significantly improve your overall arm appearance. Now before we jump into today's video, let's quickly go over how our forearms are actually made up, so we better understand why these 3 exercises are effective. For a seemingly small area, there is a total of 19 muscles that make up the forearm. Some muscles of the forearm assist with elbow movements, while others assist with the wrist. And the other function of the forearms is going to be grip strength. So because of this, we need to integrate both wrist and elbow movements along with grip strength to optimize our forearm training. And now that we understand how our forearms are actually made up, let's jump into the first exercise, which is going to be pronated curls. Pronated curls are phenomenal for training one of the largest muscles in the forearm, which is the brachioradialis. Placing our wrist in a pronated position, which is when our palm is face down to the floor, will place most of the load through this muscle rather than the biceps or the brachialis. This exercise is also great for wrist stability, injury prevention, and improving overall grip strength, so there are many benefits to performing it. And a fun fact, or maybe not so fun fact, is that grip strength is actually the biggest predictor of mortality rate. So keep that in mind next time you're thinking about skipping your forearms. And when we perform this variation, be sure to keep your elbows tucked, and the goal is to perform a strict curl. We want to keep the tension on the brachioradialis rather than the shoulders assisting with this movement. And that wraps up the first exercise. Now let's jump to the second one, which is going to be farmer's carries. Farmer carries are a full body workout and work numerous muscle groups, and the forearms are no exception. This exercise provides constant tension on the forearms throughout the entire exercise, as you need to keep them constantly engaged if you want to maintain a firm grip on these weights. This constant tension will lead to muscle growth and improved grip strength, which translates to many lifts, such as pull-ups, deadlifts, and rows. And now while this exercise seems pretty straightforward, let's go over proper form so we make sure we avoid some common mistakes. The first thing we want to do is lift the dumbbells or kettlebells off the ground just as you would for a deadlift, maintaining a neutral spine and lifting with your legs. It wouldn't be good to throw it back out before we even start the exercise. Then make sure you are standing in an upright posture and keep your eyes looking straight at all times. Looking at the ground can place excessive stress on the neck, which we obviously don't want. You want to keep your core and glutes engaged throughout and essentially walk as far as you feel comfortable. And if you want to make this exercise even more difficult, fat grips are going to be your best friend. The fat grips are going to make the dumbbell thicker, which is going to make your forearms work even more, which ultimately will lead to more growth. And then for me personally, I tend to perform 3 to 4 sets of 30-second bouts when doing this exercise. And now for the third and final exercise of this video, we're going to talk about dead hangs. Dead hangs not only work your forearms and grip strength, but it also improves your shoulder mobility and flexibility, which is a big benefit. It also promotes good posture, as it puts you in a more extended position and can provide decompression of the spine, which can help with injury prevention. Plus they have dead hang challenges at like every single fair ever, and sometimes you can win $50 to $100, so that gives you something to train for. But let's get back on track and go over proper form. Now when performing this exercise, first and foremost you want to make sure you have a secure bar, because you don't want to be like this guy. Grip the bar with an overhand grip, shoulder width apart, then try to hang for pretty much as long as you can. Aim for 4 sets and try and increase the time as you can tolerate. And I know the exercise is called dead hangs, but be sure to keep breathing, please. It's very tempting to hold your breath when performing the exercise, but that's not what we want to do. And if you want to see growth in your forearms, these 3 exercises need to be a staple in your bodybuilding program. And when done consistently, you're going to see significant improvements in your overall form development. And what you need to do next is check out this video that's popping up right here. It's going to go over 2 strategies that's going to help you get wider biceps, which ultimately will help you get a more aesthetic arm.